Sun's out and shades are in. Get your home summer ready with custom window treatments from Blinds.com. Get a high-end look without the high-end price with the most popular outdoor shades, and transform your backyard into the perfect weekend oasis with light-filtering shades that help block UV rays without obstructing your view. Plus, right now, we are offering our listeners from Blinds.com a 35% off discount on everything, making it a breeze to upgrade any room in your home, indoors or out. With over 25 million blinds sold and 35,000 five-star reviews, there's a reason why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window treatments in the world. Whether you do it yourself or have them handle the install from start to finish, Blinds.com makes ordering custom window treatments online easy, with free shipping and a 100% guaranteed perfect fit.
Sunshine and barbecues are in the forecast. Upgrade your backyard and window treatments with Blinds.com today and enjoy your new view all summer long. Go to the link in our show description to shop up to 35% off site-wide. That's the link in our show description to shop up to 35% off site-wide. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Ideals like peace, freedom, and justice, they get packed up, but we can all go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch Bison's ass so hard that the next Bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home, and who wants to go with me?
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 282. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for the Rated G network, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated G for Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rutino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
I'm not going to say what's up. I'm not going to start the show. Probably, this is what, episode 282, right?
282, just, yeah.
For 281 episodes, I've said, what's up, man? But no, I'm going to start the show with happy birthday! It's your birthday. We're actually recording on your birthday.
We are recording on my birthday. It is that Tuesday, August 3rd. A little behind the curtains there. Thank you, Dan. I'm the ripe old age of 41 before Dan tries to blurt out some random age. I'm 41 this year, all right? And Super Mario Bros. 3 is the greatest game of all time. Those two things are facts. It's my birthday. You can't say no.
You know what? You could be on your deathbed, and I don't think I could even come to bring my lips to say that.
Oh, my God. Can't even do it on my birthday, let alone my deathbed. Wow.
No,
wow.
Can't say it. Super Mario World's still the best Mario game of all time. However, it doesn't mean we can't celebrate your birthday. And if you're watching this on video, because we do put up YouTube clips, I, in honor of Dave's birthday, have behind me, in box, complete, and it has some wear and tear, the Super Mario Bros. 3.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Oh, I love it. I love it, Dan.
And I have something Xbox related next to it. So
I do. I see the headband too. Yeah.
I don't have
the Sega Saturn controller.
Well, I don't have anything Dreamcast. I don't have any special edition big Dreamcast boxes or anything. So I put the Saturn there in honor of the Dreamcast. Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Fair enough.
So I
That's
wish
awesome.
you a great happy birthday. Not every
Thank
day
you.
you get to turn 51. You look great for your age.
I know I do.
Because it's because you.
I keep myself in good condition.
Because you game. It's because you game. That's why.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Now, I do have a bit of a sad note. I was out a little bit earlier having a nice little birthday lunch, as you do on the day. I took the day off. So, actually, I took the whole damn week off. But I wanted to go to my favorite restaurant in the city, the Meatball Shop. And the flagship store on 80 Stanton Street in the Lower East Side is now closed.
I did not know that. Rest in peace to that location.
I used to live on that corner, basically. I was over on Orchard and Stanton for like 4 years of my life. Always used to rock going to the Meatball Shop. It was the best. It was cheap. It was delicious. They served beer. Oh, my God. Now, the other locations are still open. I looked it up. But just the one on 80 Stanton. I think it got hit by COVID. Maybe they couldn't really keep the rent up or whatnot. I don't know. I just know that I looked inside and I saw everything being torn down. And there was a sign up for a new restaurant, some Japanese place that's coming in. So I wish them well.
I'll give you a fun fact. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I've been in a meatball shop a couple of times. I'm not going to say a million times, but a handful of times. And every time I've been to the meatball shop, I've not gotten any type of meatballs.
How? That's all they serve. They serve meatballs and sides.
That is not true. They also serve fries, and I've gotten fries and drinks, or just drinks, every time I've been to the meatball shop. I've never actually had any meatballs.
Dude, you gotta get a hero with some balls on it. It is delicious.
I will leave the ball heroes to you, my friend.
Get the listen. The next time you go, get some spicy meatballs with the spicy meat sauce. Right, that's the classic. Has never done me wrong. It is delicious, and you can also get a fried egg on top, which I highly recommend. Boom.
But in honor of your birthday, I broke open a bottle of champagne.
Hey.
Too bad this is our second recording and we can't get the actual me popping the bottle on recording. So this is not water I'm drinking. This is champagne.
Cheers.
Cheers. And I hope you have some Baileys in that coffee of yours.
I may or may not have some Baileys in here.
Come on, man. Come on. It's celebration time.
It is.
Did you have a good weekend? Did you have a good birthday weekend?
I did. I did the camping thing again. Pretty sure I've talked about it on the show before.
You love camping. It's just an excuse for you to play your Switch or any other handheld.
I didn't bring any consoles with. Well, actually, I did bring the Switch with me, but the battery ran out pretty quick. So I just kind of put that to the side, and we sit around the campfire. You grill some meats, right? You crack open a beer. You enjoy the clear skies. It's beautiful. And then on Saturday we went tubing down the river, hopping some tubes, glide down the Delaware. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
All right. I gotta stop you. You can keep all of that. Okay. You can keep all the camping. We can grill. I'll be back in the trailer with electricity and AC. Okay.
We had power.
Okay. Yeah. No.
We had power. That was the thing. There's showers on premises. It ain't that crazy. All right. It's a good time, man.
Well, listen. Happy birthday, Dave. This is probably the only time a year I'll even break out the Super Mario Brothers 3 incomplete inbox, even with the styrofoam.
That's right.
Just for Dave.
That's
and
right.
Put it in my background.
Listen.
So, we have a great show this week. Okay. It's a little bit of a downer, I would say. We're going to talk about the whole Activision Blizzard debacle, right? And we're going to talk about how current gen, not next gen, because it's now current gen. It's been almost a year, right? Is doing phenomenal, doing better than last gen. But let's start the show off with a little update from notable games that are coming out this month, right? We were looking forward to this. Well, at least I was looking forward to this because I actually do have a PS5. Kenya Bridge of Spirits has hit a delay. It's not coming out in August. It will come out in September. Right? So September is always a weird month, like for a game to be delayed into, right? Because I think this would have been a perfect month for Kenya Bridge of Spirits because it's a PlayStation. I think it's a PlayStation 5 exclusive. I don't think it's a PS4, PS5 game.
Hybrid one,
right?
yeah. I think you're right. Yeah.
And we have Psychonauts 2 coming out at the end of the month, right? And I know that's coming out on PS4 and Xbox, but it's a Xbox first party game. So I think this would have been a perfect time for it to come out.
Yeah.
Unlike, getting pushed to September, which is the start of, what we call the Christmas season, right? The holiday season.
Christmas
when it comes
one.
to games. Christmas one. So notably Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear's come out in September. Spider-Man's come out in September. Resident Evil 6 has come out in September. So this is, and last year we got Avengers. Whatever you say you could say whatever you want about the game itself, but it was still a big release.
Yeah. It was a big thing that Square was putting out. People were kind of looking forward to it. So we also got a delay from Horizon too. Forbidden West is now a 2022 title.
I don't think that was actually corroborated, but I wouldn't. I
looked
believe
that up. I looked that up. Sony has confirmed it has now been delayed to 2022. Yep.
They've actually. Oh man. Well, you know what?
Yep.
That just piles on to what I was going to say when I said a couple of episodes ago. 2022 may be the best gaming year of all time. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of big games slated for 2022, right? That are delayed out into 2022 too. So we could see that be like up there as far as like best gaming years of all time. But September, it's just. You have all the sports games, right? You have NBA 2K coming out,
right? Madden comes out at the end of August, early September, right?
Yeah. You got Sonic Colors Ultimate, Chernobyl on consoles. It's coming out because Chernobyl on PC is out right now, right? And then you have Dave's favorite Skatebird that's coming out in September.
Oh my god,
too.
yeah, the game of the year right there, Skatebird. Come on now.
No, but all seriousness, we got Lost Judgment, right? That's the new game. That's that's I think that is no, that's not next gen. That's coming out on cross gen. You got that's coming out, right? So and then Life is Strange. So and Deathloop.
Part 3, yeah.
And Deathloop is coming out. So I hope it doesn't get lost in the shuffle. And when it comes to September. And,
it's got a unique art style, So
and funny enough, the Medium is coming out to PlayStation 5 in September. So that exclusivity is up with Microsoft. So I'm looking forward to Kenya Bridge of Spirits. Hopefully it's a good game. I think it's one of that 6-7 range. It looks like it's like a 6-7 for me.
Oh, like out of 10? You're already you're already pre-rating it?
Yeah, it looks like an okay game. It's not.
Wow,
it's not like
how do you even know? I could never do that. I always gotta play it to give any sort of review.
I'll play it before I give it an actual score, but it looks like it's like a 7.
Really? I don't know. That art style looks amazing.
It looks like an okay game.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah.
Also, you know what we're going to see? We're going to see, for the first time ever since PAX East 2020, an actual video game convention with live people. That's not online. That's not just online. PAX West, that's happening, I think, at the end of August, beginning of September, will have actual people attending. However, an asterisk,
shoot.
You need to be either vaccinated or test negative for entry.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. That is not surprising. They want to make sure everybody's safe. They want to make sure everybody who's going doesn't have it. It doesn't spread it. That's kind of what you do, right? It's your right to not get the vaccine if you don't want it. It is Reed Pop who runs the whole shebang. It's their right to deny you entrance if you don't have it because it's a safety risk, right? Whether you think it's a safety risk or not is up to you. That's perfectly fine. They're not saying that. They're just saying you can't enter unless you have the vaccine. So good on them for doing that. It'd be nice to go, but I don't think traveling across the country with the Delta variant out there is the way to go right now. But I think it's going to be a crazy good convention because everybody needs something to go back to.
So what if I just popped up and said, Dave, I got birthday gift, right? Yeah, tickets to PAX West. Would you know?
Oh yeah, no, we're going.
All expensive pay.
No, we're going. We're going.
We're going. Okay,
Come on, we're going.
Sure.
It ain't that serious.
I want to make sure. I want to make sure all expenses paid. We're going.
I mean, it's serious, but it's. I would still go.
Yeah, because you're not paying for it.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I also have the vaccine, and I would still, probably. I mean, I would definitely carry a mask around, wear it when I need to, wash my hands, use the hand sanitizer, still do all the same stuff.
Even before the zombie apocalypse, when we went to PAX, we always had hand sanitizer.
That's right.
We never wanted to get the PAX pox or the PAX flu or whatever you wanted to call it. All right, because just whenever you're around that large a group of people, there's always something that that you can catch and get sick, and nobody wants to get sick.
Right. And everyone's got like the little. Everyone's booth has the little bottle, right? And they encourage you to use the hand sanitizer before and after, just to keep things all kosher. But damn, yeah. Well, happy to see him back.
So Dave, a big happy birthday. How we always try to start the show, but epically fail. What have you been playing?
Oh, I am. I'm still rocking that Bethesda id train, and I am playing Doom 64 on Game Pass on the Series X.
You love Doom. I'm starting to think Doom is like your favorite franchise ever. I can see you just playing and trying to beat every Doom game ever.
Hold the brakes.
Ever.
Hold the brakes. Hold
Ever.
the brakes. Hold the brakes. Let's not.
Maybe instead of putting Super Mario Brothers 3 back there, I should have put a Doom box back there because I do have a bunch of Doom games in box.
Respect. No. You can't put down Final Fantasy. You can't put down Metroid. All right. Maybe it's like number 3, 4, like top 5, top 10, 100%. Right. I'll throw it in the mix. Doom is awesome. Never played Doom 64. It is a brand new Doom game. It was not a port of Doom 1 or Doom 2, all new levels, some new monsters. There's a new weapon in there, right? I talked about that before. The levels are all like brand new, and they even have some advancements over the original. The original couldn't do colored lighting. It could do like luminance, I think, or whatever, right? So you could have different levels of brightness, but it couldn't actually color the lights. Doom 64 has colored lights in it, and it really kind of adds to the ambiance of the game. But yeah, I've been playing that. I'm more than halfway through it. I'm on level like 19, I think, right now, 18, 19. So I'm just about done. I got about 10 more levels to go, and then we close it out.
Okay.
So how about you? What have you been playing?
Well, I picked this game because originally it was going to be my game for Saturday Morning Retro this month, and I may use it at another time. But I've been rocking some Street Fighter Cross Tekken on the PS3.
Wow.
I didn't realize you had to. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a fan of unlocking characters, especially when you have a big roster, right? And they show you the roster when you put the game in.
Right.
They show you the big roster,
and it's just got a question mark or an X over it. Nah, you can't.
Not even. You can't even select them. You can see the picture, but you can't even select them. So I'm not a fan of that. Just give me Just give me everybody.
Well, that was a big thing back in the day to pad the length of the game out, right? Because every time you unlock something new, right, it hits the receptor in the brain and it triggers the dopamine response, and you're like, oh, I'm actually doing stuff. I'm getting new stuff, right? And they kind of drip feed it to you.
And I think Smash Brothers Ultimate does a great job of that, right? Where if you play the game, you get into 1 or 2 matches, and then you got like a new character enters the fray, and then you beat that character and you now unlock that character. Right. Unlike, you got to beat it on hard mode, you got to beat it on easy mode, you got to beat it with no fatality, or something,
and you got to go through the story mode for each character each time.
That just gets a little. That gets a little tedious, where it's like, come on, really? Come on. Let me just beat the character. Just give me a 1-on-1 session.
Right.
If I beat him, I unlock him. That's it, right? I earned the right to play as him,
right,
or her,
right.
So I got to be honest. I know people, said this game was okay. I really like this game. I thought this game was awesome. I don't see where anybody has an issue with it. It has a story. The story is dumb, but it's a story. I was like, yo, there's news reporters and it's talking. I never played this game before, so I was I was totally shocked. I'm like, there's news reporters and they're talking about some comet that hit the Earth or something along those lines. I don't even know what they were saying because I was just so impressed that they actually had a story. I love this game. Okay, now, I don't know how anybody can say this game is okay. This game is great.
Well, okay. Would you play this game over Street Fighter or over Tekken? Any?
Yeah. I mean, this game is great. I thought this is a good game.
So you're saying it's better than Street Fighter 5?
I'm not saying it's better than Street Fighter 5.
Okay, well, there you go. That's what people are saying.
I'm saying it's up there.
Right, because you have to compare it. You got to compare it, or maybe at the time.
Street Fighter 5 wasn't even out yet, but yeah.
Street Fighter 4 was, and it was fantastic. Tekken 6 was, and it was fantastic.
I would play it over Street Fighter 4 and Tekken 6.
That's what people are saying. They're saying that the fighting system in those games are better. Well, I don't know. I haven't really gotten into it too much, so I can't necessarily comment. But it's good to see that.
I love seeing the Tekken characters in a Street Fighter style.
The crossovers is the appealing part, 100%. Yeah.
And we talked about it last week. I would love to see the Mortal Kombat characters in the crossover style.
Yeah.
Or Street Fighter the movie,
Right. With the digitized
Mortal Kombat.
Characters.
Yes. I just got to see Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile versus Jean-Claude Van Damme as Johnny Cage. That's all I want. That's all I want. No, I like this game. I love this game. I think this game is great. I didn't want to sit here and play it for Saturday Morning Retro and unlock the characters and talk about all that stuff. I just wanted to have the ability to play it freely and not have to worry about anything. Ryu or Guile, like my favorite characters to play as. Sorry, I always hated Ken just because, my junior high school rival loved playing as Ken, and you know what? That dude don't know where he is in life.
You're a little salty right now. I understand.
A little salty, yes. So I would play as Guile, Sagat, or Ryu.
Sagat's my jam. Yeah.
But I will say this: I think it's funny how Zangief, right, is in the background, like in one of the stages, like hanging on for dear life. I think like we're like in a ship, and then like I don't know. It's like he's not in the game,
right?
Because he's like hanging on for dear life. It's hilarious. He should be. Everybody should be in this game. This should be like.
I wonder what the story behind that is. Yeah.
Well, I haven't got. If there is a story, I haven't gotten to it yet because I haven't played too much of it. I've just been playing as Ryu for the most part, like for the last 2 hours.
Right.
So I think this game is great. I don't know what everybody's talking about. I hope we get the Tekken first Street Fighter game.
Oh my god!
Soon. It's 30% done. Come on, we just need.
According to Harada, it's 30% done. Now
we just need the 70%.
Yeah. It's less than halfway done. When was the last time they worked on it? That's what I want to know.
All right, so look, all I know is this game came out in 2012, and in 2021, which is almost 10 years later, it's 30% done. Okay. So in 2032, it'll be 60% done.
I don't think that's how that works, but okay.
Okay, and it will finally get it on the PlayStation 7. That's all I know. It'll be a launch.
Listen, I want it to come out. Don't get me wrong, but I've just kind of given up the ghost on it already. It's I just don't think it's ever going to come out.
It's coming out. Gotta have hope, my friend. Gotta have hope. Come on, it's your birthday. Gotta have hope.
I mean, it'd be nice. Yeah.
So with that said, why don't we take a break? When we come back, we're getting to the top gaming news of last week.
Sun's out and shades are in. Get your home summer ready with custom window treatments from Blinds.com. Get a high-end look without the high-end price with the most popular outdoor shades, and transform your backyard into the perfect weekend oasis with light-filtering shades that help block UV rays without obstructing your view. Plus, right now, we are offering our listeners from Blinds.com a 35% off discount on everything, making it a breeze to upgrade any room in your home, indoors or out. With over 25 million blinds sold and 35,000 5-star reviews, there's a reason why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window treatments in the world. Whether you do it yourself or have them handle the install from start to finish, Blinds.com makes ordering custom window treatments online easy, with free shipping and a 100% guaranteed perfect fit.
Sunshine and barbecues are in the forecast. Upgrade your backyard and window treatments with Blinds.com today and enjoy your new view all summer long. Go to the link in our show description to shop up to 35% off site-wide. That's the link in our show description to shop up to 35% off site-wide. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Ideals like peace, freedom, and justice, they get packed up, but we can all go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch Bison's ass so hard that the next Bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home, and who wants to go with me?
And we're back. Let's get into the top gaming news of last week. And you know what? This sucks to talk about, but let's get into our lead story. Let's talk about the Activision Blizzard employee walkout that just happened. So there's a lawsuit. There are lawsuits. There are things that are being claiming that, you know, I know EA has been voted like the worst company to work for in America for so many, you know, a couple of years in a row. But it looks like Activision Blizzard may take the cake because they're, according to reports, if true, I have to say, if true, because we don't know, Activision Blizzard is a terrible place to work. I mean, listen, you have the state of California suing you over unfair work conditions.
Right.
And, and your staff have to stage a walkout for a couple of hours just to prove a point.
Right.
This is ridiculous.
The walkout happened last Wednesday. That was one of the latest things to go down. Let's go ahead and take it back to July 20th, which is when this shitstorm, I think is the appropriate word for it, started, right? So the lawsuit was filed from the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing against Activision Blizzard Incorporated, right? And basically the lawsuit was alleging frat boy culture, right? Females being subjected to sexual harassment, right? Lower pay was kind of also in there, where the male employees were getting paid more than the females. Things called cube crawls, where employees would get drunk and walk around to, you know, females' cubicles and kind of harass them in ways that was, just straight up wrong. You know, in like a workplace culture or really anywhere, right? There were some things like where they had breastfeeding areas which had a door that didn't lock. People would come by and watch the women breastfeed, right? These are
disturbing.
Yeah. Yes. These are all the things that were in this initial lawsuit, right? They were allegations. They were brought by a bunch of people. The state of California is bringing this lawsuit forward, right? Which I don't necessarily know, but I'm going to assume that it makes it more severe if the state comes after you versus, like, I don't know, a class action lawsuit or just a bunch of employees kind of banding together and trying to sue for, you know, improper workplace conditions or whatever it is.
I mean, it's really bad. I mean, listen, I don't know. I wouldn't call it worse or more severe, but it's bad when the state that you're in is suing you for terrible work conditions.
Right.
But this is terrible. There was even a report that they had a Bill Cosby room, like not before all of the allegations against Mr. Cosby. I'm talking about afterwards.
Yeah, they had a Cosby room at BlizzCon, apparently.
Yes.
Why do you name it the Cosby room?
We all know why they named it the Cosby room. Not going to get into the details, but that's just a terrible look. Why would they do something stupid like that? This is just a bad look all around. Man, if any of these allegations are true, like I stand with the devs. Like, this is just terrible work conditions.
Well, let's go further in the timeline because there's a lot that happened over the last like 2 weeks or whatever, right? So the next day, July 21st, Bloomberg Law reports about the lawsuit from the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing, right? So they kind of solidify, okay, this is actually a thing. July 22nd. Activision Blizzard executive Fran Townsend sends an email to staff, right, which is obtained by Jason Schreier and published on July 23rd, right? And they kind of call out, we don't stand for this behavior, yada, yada, yada. We always strive, all the kind of bullshit corporate stuff that everybody says.
What is it supposed to do? Admit that, they have issues, right? Like
No. I mean,
of course they're going to deny it. However, one good thing did come out of this. A lot of higher up management were let go, right? The people who were the perpetrators of some of this culture. Right?
Well, let go and leaving and whatever else. Some of them kind of left on their own accord. Some of them did get kicked out.
To be fair, Ubisoft had the same sort of issue, right? I mean, they didn't have the state of the country of France sue them. But
we'll get to Ubisoft.
They did have some issues, and the top guy did step down. So that's a step in the right direction. Is what do they do? For me, at least, what do they do next? What do they do?
Here's the thing about Ubisoft, right? Like, who's to say it's all coming from one person, right? Sure, you can say top-down CEO and whatnot, but there's other people who are perpetrating that, right? It could stop at the CEO if like, the CTO or the CFO or the whatever is like, dude, you can't do that, right? It could just begin and end there. But it's like a whole chain, right? Because there's Activision, there's Blizzard, there's, I think, King Games is also part of them, who do like Candy Crush. I think they're in the fold in this, because it's like it's Activision, Blizzard, King employees. There's like a union group that's like ABK employee group or whatever, right? And it's Activision Blizzard King. They didn't necessarily call out King Games specifically in any of the behavior and whatnot, but they are, I guess, part of the company, so I guess it's fair to note that. But they stopped doing any work on World of Warcraft, like, since July 25th. No new development on the game, right? So whoever was running that, I guess there was a tweet from Jeff Hamilton, who's the senior system designer, and he says, we're stopping work on like WoW until we can fix this situation, right? So no new development, right? I mean, they're still doing support and all that, but they're not building out new features. They're not kind of adding to the game in any way. They're just like, all right, we're going to go ahead and halt on that. So, and that's just within like 5 days or 4 days or whatever it is, right? July 26th is when Activision Blizzard employees sign a letter. They're supporting the lawsuit, right? They're kind of putting their weight behind it. And there's a whole big statement. You can kind of read all these online. July 27th is when employees organize the walkout, right? They're going to take a day. That happened last Wednesday, I think. They ended up doing like a half-day walkout, right, in like a protest, which I think is great. It kind of sends a message to management in a way, right? And then on the same day, on the 27th, the Activision CEO apologizes for the tone-deaf response. So apparently what he said wasn't great, didn't go over well, and it wasn't enough, right?
Well, funny enough, on that same day, Activision actually hired a law firm that is, I want to say notorious, but is known to sort of squash unionization, right? And
yeah,
that's what they're known for.
Yeah, so they got this law firm, Wilmer Hale.
Yes,
apparently very good at what they do. Yes. They're very good at what they do, which is troubling because what that means is all of this stuff may be true. We're not saying one way or the other whether it is or it isn't. We certainly stand by the employees and all of that, and we don't support any behavior in that way. Obviously, it has to go through the court system and all that. but it could turn out that there's not enough actual physical evidence to prove their case, right? Activision Blizzard may not necessarily crumble as a because
they're not going to crumble. They're worth too much money to crumble.
Right.
Right. I'm going to take it from a different approach.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, it's your birthday, and I've just anointed you now CEO of Activision Blizzard.
Oh boy!
What would you?
I don't want it.
What would you?
I don't want it.
What would you do to change the culture? What would you do to? First of all, you're not going to. You do want it because it's very lucrative. Okay, so what would you do to change? The culture? What would you do to change a culture? To change things around, to change a perception.
The thing that you do,
change the culture internal.
The thing that you do is
because wait before you tell me, they've already got rid of all the people who have reported, all the managers, the high level executives who have perpetrated.
Impossible.
Okay, well, let's say those guys are gone already, so they're fired. They're done. They got their leave of absence, and they're never coming back. What would you do next?
I mean, no matter what they did previously, has no bearing on what I would do necessarily, because there's still an issue that needs to be resolved. There still is a culture is bad, right? Let's just put it in basic terms. There's still a bad culture. There's still probably things that people do that they don't realize are toxic, right? So you have to fix the culture, right? But even before you fix the culture, you still have to do the internal investigation and hear out every single case to its end. Right, and do the things that you need to do to make things right, because there's people at the employee level, right, who kind of walk around, who do the cube crawls and all that. I can 100% guarantee that there's some people around that may have done some questionable things. You got to go ahead and bring those like people in. You got to do the investigation to each and every single person, right? Because it's not business as usual. Oh, we got rid of the problem, we're good. We got rid of some problematic people, but the problem is still there, right? You got to make the culture better, right? And you also have to hear out all of these things to make sure the employees are being heard, right? You want to do all the right things, right? Which I don't think Activision Blizzard is doing just yet, right? They're okay, well, we got rid of this guy that got called out, right? Well, what about the people that didn't get called out, right? There has to be people that are still working there that haven't been brought to light, right? They got some pretty big fish, They got one. I think one of the CEOs resigned, right? But they initially tried to pave it over, and the message that they put out there obviously wasn't enough, right? The employees are like, this isn't going to cut it, right?
Unfortunately, you know what the bad thing is? Mm-hmm. These guys, from Ubisoft, right? There was an issue with a guy, a high level executive at Ubisoft. High-level executive of Activision Blizzard, and I'm sure all over the place. It's not isolated with these two companies. Mm-hmm. High-level executives get to leave, and they have a golden parachute. Right?
Oh yeah,
leaving, and it's in the contract. So there's nothing you can do.
And they will go somewhere else, and they'll get a brand new job.
And they will go somewhere else. That's the bigger issue here, right? Because
that's a huge problem. Yeah,
the guy who leaves Activision Blizzard right now is going to lay low with his golden parachute for a couple of years, come back and be the CEO or high-level executive at EA or Take-Two. Right? All because
he has a skill set which is valuable to the business at hand, right? He is good at making money in a way. He's got good business sense. So we're going to hire this guy, and we're going to give him all the stuff because we want him on our team. They don't know.
Golden parachutes. It should be labeled to how much money the company is generating. And if you suck or you create a toxic
you don't get
culture,
the golden parachute.
You should be fired with nothing. Nothing.
Well, yeah, I mean that 100% that, and also, how do you have a system where you're allowed to let these things go on, right? Even if he wasn't perpetrating them. He allowed these things to go on, and he allowed this culture to happen.
This isn't a video game industry problem. This is a corporate problem.
Oh, it's 100% a corporate
All-
problem. Yeah,
all
this doesn't just apply to video games, but
Yes, it's just getting a spotlight because it's in the video game industry. Right.
oh, 100%, 100%. So, yeah. So the 28th. I mean, just to go back to some of like the timeline stuff, right? The 28th was a big day. I think that was the Wednesday. That was when employees walk out. They respond to the CEO letter. This wasn't enough. The response isn't really up to snuff, right? Also on the 28th, Ubisoft employees, just about 500 current and former employees from 32 studios, they signed the open letter of support, right? Because they're also upset that Ubisoft didn't handle the situation as well as they could. So they're also upset. There was allegations against, I think, their CEO, and I think it was Yves Guillemot.
I don't think it was. No, it wasn't.
Not him?
It wasn't. No. It wasn't the top guy.
Okay.
It wasn't their. I can't even pronounce his name. It was a high level
He's
executive.
got a tough name.
I don't.
Yeah. So he ended up
French. I took French in college. That was a long time ago. Just
Right.
I should know.
Right.
A long time ago.
So
Yves Guillemot.
yeah, Guillemot.
Something. No, Guillermo.
Yeah.
It's something Guillermo. I can't get the first name. Okay. All right. I'm close.
Yves is his first name.
Yves.
I don't know if that was the guy specifically, but somebody high up at the company, he just left, right? And he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and step down, right? Which, okay, great. You still get your golden parachute and your whatever else. You still got a ton of money. It's fine. Like, you're gonna go ahead and be okay. And because he's not with the company anymore, he can kind of slowly start to step away. I think that helps his case a little bit because he's not there anymore, right? Also on the 28th, Kotaku jumps in. They do some reporting. They talk about the Cosby suite, right? They kind of corroborate a bunch of that stuff, which is crazy. One of the guys, I believe at Blizzard, Alex
Go ahead. You got it.
Alex Afrasiabi. These people have very hard names to pronounce.
Yes.
They were aware of the Cosby suite, right? So these are people high up, right? This apparently happened at BlizzCon 2013, right? That was the Cosby suite. There's like a lot of effed up stuff in there. I'm not going to go into all of that, but the fact that they have something called the Cosby suite at a convention run by Blizzard that higher ups knew about, bad idea.
All right, so let's round it back a little bit.
Okay.
So a lot of YouTubers are protesting and not covering Activision Blizzard games.
This is good.
So, other than Call of Duty, which hasn't even been announced yet, but will be announced and still will be covered and be a blockbuster, what other games do we know of that are coming out that are imminent, right? Because I know a new Diablo game is not going to be for a while.
Diablo 4 is somewhat in the works. I mean,
that's in the works, but we know that's not coming anytime soon. But once it comes, all this is probably going to blow over. So I don't think they have anything. I don't think they have anything necessarily big in the books per se. I don't remember seeing a lot of stuff out of E3, but you can do more than new. You can take any of the DLC stuff or just streamers in general. You can not stream Call of Duty. You can not stream Diablo, right? You can take any of the games that they produce and just move on to say like Fortnite, or move on to Battlefield, right? Move on to a different game, right? So they don't get the kind of media coverage and press and whatever from these streamers playing this game. There are definitely ways to hurt them, for sure. Ways that we as a consumer can show them that we don't like their practices. And
we could not buy the next Call of Duty game.
We can show them with our wallet.
Mm-hmm.
So. But at the same time, we are, I don't know what sort of the contracts are with the developers.
Mm-hmm.
We are hurting them too, right? If payment of like the new Call of Duty game, we don't know if it's payment is part of the contract a lot of these, especially if they're contract workers, not full-time employees, with sales or residuals from Call of Duty. So that's always like a fine line in this business, at least.
Yeah. Well, that's why that shouldn't really have that. They should be compensated for their work accordingly, right? Overtime should be paid out in full, right? You know, bonuses.
Yeah, but if you make a game that hits a certain Metacritic score or certain scores, or it sells a certain amount of units, you know, it is incentive to make a good game and not just rush a bad game out.
like the bonus is one thing, but you should still be paying your employees enough money, right? The bonus should be extra on top of that. Sure, you can use it as a motivational tool, but developers should be getting paid for their work because they're doing work, right? Because here's the thing too, right? If you're working, if we're working for DICE and we're making a new Battlefield game, right? And we're working on motion for the characters, right? We're doing the motion animation and all that, right? We're doing the work that's handed down from the senior motion director or the art director or the whatever. We're getting our marching orders from the people who are in the meetings, who are discussing at a high level, like, okay, here's how it's going to go, right? If somebody up there makes the wrong decision and they come down and say, hey, we need you to do X, Y, Z, and it turns out that ABC was the better move to go, you don't necessarily have a leg to stand on, and that's not your fault. You did the best work possible to get that task done.
I understand, right? But that's a Star Wars Battlefront scenario. I'm talking more.
Well, that's like a scenario with anything, right? If you make a bad game mechanic, right? But that's your
game
task.
Mechanic compared to a bad game are two different things.
Well,
right?
what all adds up though, right? If you have the core game and the core game is bad, that means everything else that you build out from that, you're just building it on a bad foundation, right? You gotta have a good mechanic and whatever at the core.
Well, listen to the next Saturday Morning Retro episode, and we'll talk about execution of great ideas for a bad game.
See,
okay?
and that
right. doesn't come from the top; it comes from the people who implemented it. So.
Well, maybe. But I'm just saying, like, the dev shouldn't necessarily be punished for any of this stuff.
We both agree this needs to be rectified, and we'll see. We'll keep up with this story going forward.
And I guess just one final note, and then I guess we can kind of be out on this. As of today, as of this recording, Blizzard Entertainment president J. Allen Brack is leaving the company to pursue new opportunities.
Exactly what we were talking about. Have you leave, right? And I'm sure he has something contingency in his contract where he leaves, he gets a certain amount of money, lay low, and then go to another company and no consequences.
Oh my God, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah. So that culture, corporate culture, needs to change in general, right? Because it's infected the video game industry at the top level. I want to shift focus to something that's terrible to happier news.
Yeah, please.
Let's talk about current gen, right? Mm-hmm. Current gen is doing fantastic. And they said just a generation and a half ago that console gaming may be dead, right? Like almost in the middle of the PS3, Xbox 360 generation, they said console gaming is going to be dead. Not so fast, because the PS5 has surpassed 10 million units sold, right? And Xbox, who hasn't given sales numbers since the Xbox 360 generation, has said that they've shipped over 6 million Xboxes. And if you can't find an Xbox Series X, I'm going to say they've sold over 6 million Xboxes.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, they're not on store shelves. People have purchased them, whether they're in scalp returns or not. They've been sold.
They've been sold through retail, and they're gone. So that means with 10 million... With over 10 million, over 6 million, they've done better than they did during the PS4 and Xbox One generation. So, console, and you could barely find a Switch, and good luck trying to find a Switch OLED when it comes out.
Yep.
Console gaming isn't dead. It's still here. It's still alive. It's still kicking, and it's awesome. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
Right? Because, listen, Microsoft doesn't care how many consoles they sell. They just care about how many people they have in an ecosystem. I mean,
Well, I mean, you know, they do want the systems, but Game Pass is really
look at
Pass and
MLB The
Xbox
Show.
Live are really
Look at MLB The Show, right? Because it sold over, I think it sold over 2 million copies, right? And it's on 2 different consoles, but it have over 4 million player base, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I played MLB The Show because it was on Game Pass, and I'm terrible at it. I want to get the physical because it's weird to see, you know, a PlayStation game with Xbox Studios on the Xbox Studios logo on it, right? Which is why I want to get Psychonauts. Which is why I want to get Psychonauts to get a PlayStation game with an Xbox Studio on it. So, oh no, sorry, rewind. I want to get so confused because it's your birthday and I'm drinking champagne. I want to get an Xbox game with PlayStation Studio on it,
right?
With MLB The Show,
right?
When it's $2, you know, this holiday because no one's gonna care. And then I want to get Psychonauts 2 for the PlayStation, and you know,
which is Xbox branded on a PlayStation console. Yeah.
That's what I want.
Just because it's so ridiculous. Yeah, man. That's you know, good things. Gaming is moving onward and upward. I think one thing that's kind of important to note is that I think console sales aren't going to be the be all end all eventually once we get, you know, games as a service really kind of kicking off, and it's just a tiny little box that you use to hook up to play all these games, right? You know, you're not going to be able to measure game sales in the same way because they're going to be on this service, right? So you're going to have to gauge the active player count for these games eventually, and that'll kind of be the metric, right? We've got over 10 million people playing our game. May not have sold 10 million physical copies, but, you know, there's people playing the game, and that's important.
Well, the funny thing is there was a rumor, there were rumor specs or design. I didn't put it in the show notes because I didn't have it as something, you know, I like it when it's something a little bit more concrete, and we've seen this before. So I think we've talked about it before. That's why I didn't put it in the show notes. I like to have something new and unique to talk about, but they have Xbox streaming box that looks just like the Xbox Series X, just like shrunk down by like 30, right? 30 times. It's just like, without the pimple in the middle, right? Because DJ Khaled thought it was a
stereo speaker.
But yeah, it looks, and that's like the rumor, like Xbox streaming box, right? Like I think that's what you're talking about, right? They want to go straight for
100%. Yeah. I mean, they even said that 2 years ago or 3 years ago at their E3 press conference, right? Right at the end when they were showing the new console and all that, they're like, look, digital and streaming is the way forward, and Games Pass and xCloud and all of that is where we're going with all of this stuff. Like, they were very explicit in saying that. So it makes sense, you know, for better or worse. That's where that's kind of where they're going with it.
Well, I think, listen, gaming is healthy, right? Console
Very.
gaming is healthy.
Very. Yeah.
And it's a good thing. We just need to get you a PlayStation so you can join the 10 million PlayStation users.
I would love one.
Or should I say the 5 million PlayStation users and the 5 million people and the scalpers who have the other 5 million.
The other 5 million, yeah. Listen. If you know, at the end of the show when we're wrapping up, you want to say, hey, I got one more thing, and you pull out a PS5, I ain't going to be mad.
Okay.
I'll just say that. If you got one down there and you feel like giving it to me for my birthday, I'll take it. Give
us a strong word. Give us a strong word. You know, maybe I'll say, you know, I'll let you reimburse me for buying you one.
Right? I see. Hey, look, I'll take it any way I can get.
Yeah. Happy birthday. I went through the trenches.
I procured you a PS5. $500. There you go.
Now you can give me my money back. But let's take it in a different route. Let's talk about PlayStation VR. And yes, I think this is a PlayStation VR 2 story. And I'll tell you why. Sony has renewed their PlayStation Home trademark. Now, you may say, Dan, why is that a big deal? Because PlayStation Home was a PlayStation 3 thing. And I thought it was cool when I first got my PlayStation 3, when, you know, it was just like this world where you can go in and, you know, it was sort of third person.
Yeah, it was a whole, like, you could make your avatar, you would be in the world, you could play games within that world, you could watch people play, like, say, like Call of Duty in, like, the theater.
You can watch E3 press conferences
you
in
could
that
watch
world.
E3 press. Yeah, it was a virtual reality situation without the glasses, but you would be in this world and you would do everything within the world, which was kind of cool.
I think VR in general it's not hit mainstream because we're still tethered to a wire, to a box, to something. Once it goes wireless completely with that big resolution, I'm not saying wireless and we got PS2 resolution. I'm saying wireless and we have PS4 resolution.
Well, we have the Oculus Quest. That's out there with the no wire.
I know it is, but I mean, it's not great. It's good because it's a different experience wireless, but it's not the best experience. I'm saying once we stop being tethered to a box, and again, the PSVR has two wires going from the back of your headset into a transistor box that goes into your console.
Well, the updated one is a single wire, so they got it down to one. They got it down to a single wire. It's a little less cumbersome.
And the PS5 was made with VR in mind, so PSVR 2 won't have that transistor box. It would just be a wire straight to the console, which is
most likely, yeah.
I think for it to be mainstream.
I think it's still going to have the one wire. I agree with you. I think wireless is certainly the way to go, but obviously there are some technical hurdles with that. One being battery, right? Because now you don't have electricity coming from a big wire.
Give me 2 hours minimum of heavy playtime. 2 hours. Just give me a Switch. Just give me the Switch. Give me 2 hours.
Well, you gotta have a battery in the thing now, right? Which kind of bulks it up a little bit, which is extra weight. So that's kind of something that you have to work
Sony,
out, right?
And I trust Sony, who are master at design. I mean, Apple. Steve Jobs always famously said that he studied Sony products when he wanted to do Apple products because they were a master of design with their Walkmans.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. Right? I'm not saying that they can't do it.
I think
but
Sony can do it. If anybody can do it, Sony can do it.
Well, it is a thing, right? Just to say, hey, let's go ahead and be wireless is one thing. I agree. I would love it for it to be wireless, but beyond the battery, you need a charging stand, right? So there's that, and then how much battery life are you going to get out of it, right? Thankfully, I think you don't need a big battery because how long can somebody stay in VR without getting a headache, right? So I think maybe you're right. I think maybe a 2 to 3 hour like maximum battery on it is more than enough because I don't think anyone's going to do a massive 8-hour play session, right, without having to charge it. Or you could maybe do a hybrid thing where the charging cable is hooked up right to the unit, right? And then you can kind of play and charge at the same time. You can go wireless if you don't have it, if you want to unplug it. I sadly don't think that the PSVR 2 is going to be completely wireless. I just don't think they're there yet. Maybe in a revision, but I still think it's going to have one wire to the system.
I think being tethered is the killer app, not the actual killer app, right? But I think PlayStation Home, if that's a real thing, and they adapt it to the PSVR 2, I think that could be a thing that that can keep people in. It's like, because it's like, what are you doing? What is it, right? What is VR? Am I just watching everything I can watch on my TV in front of my eyes? Like I'm in a movie theater, or I'm immersed into an actual world where, Dave, me and you can interact in person, even though you're all the way in Brooklyn, I'm all the way
right.
in Queens.
We can be in virtual Italy, right? Be in the damn piazza, right? And
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So I think this is more of a PSVR story than a PS Home. A home trademark story. I think they're trademarking this because I think as soon as you put the VR headset on, you're going to be immersed into a different world. You're going to be in PS Home.
Yeah, I mean, I think that kind of goes a long way, right? You want a wow experience, right? You also need to make sure the interface is good and all that, because I think one of the problems with PlayStation Home was the games that you could play in the world, like bowling and whatever else, there were only so many lanes that you could jump into, and you literally had to wait for other people to finish to play the bowling. That was it seemed neat in theory, but you would be queuing up for so long. It was just, it was terrible.
How about Sony, who can afford it, just buy Atari and we could play Space Invaders in PS Home, PS PlayStation.
Done. I will spend $500 to play it. No, sorry.
Come on, you want to see Centipede in 4K.
I don't. I mean, I can get the Atari VCS for that and have a terrible time with it. I mean, I could technically play it on my phone in 4K, and then we're good.
There you go.
Yeah, I would only spend $299 as opposed to $500.
I got my Retina display for my iPhone.
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
All right. Let's shift gears. We did talk about Activision Blizzard maybe being the worst company of all time, but EA was voted the worst company.
Year after year, I think. Yeah. They got a hat trick on that one.
So my prediction from EA Play Live was I wanted. Well, I don't think it was a prediction. It was more so I wanted to see a brand new NBA Live game because we haven't seen one. This will be the second year we're going without a live game. Mm-hmm. All the reports say that NBA Live remains dormant. EA is working on a new basketball game for next-gen consoles. Well, current-gen consoles. That are not current-gen consoles. What we don't know is it going to be a traditional sim game or an arcade game? Because if it's an arcade game, that would be kind of, I don't know what I would call it, ironic, right? Like where 2K has the traditional sim game that's amazing.
The basketball.
And, they would have to have an arcadey style football game because they can't make a sim game, a sim football game.
EA owns the rights to simulation football.
Yeah. Where EA can make, the top sim game Madden, but would have to make an arcadey game in basketball because their sim games just don't sell well because they're just not rated well.
Yeah.
So that would be kind of weird. But I think they're going to go with a sim style game. And I don't know if they're going to go to Streets level and come do NBA Streets.
Oh, I wish that'd be the dream.
But I think
I love NBA Street.
I think they're going to put Live on the shelf, and that's kind of sad to me because Live was like the main basketball game you bought during, the Genesis, Super Nintendo, Saturn, N64, PlayStation. Those, that generation, PlayStation 2, that generation, you bought Live. When you said Live, you knew you meant basketball because everybody knew Madden for football.
Yep.
And I think around like 06, 07, around that. I think 06.
I think 06 or 05 even was the first one, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, not the first one because they had 2K basketball sim games on the Dreamcast.
Which
2001, 2001.
Yeah, Visual Concepts, I think, made it.
Yeah, they weren't. Yeah, they were competition to Live, but they weren't overthrowing Live. I think like 06, 07. They crested, when Live was like, I think 06. I'm going to say 06. 06, when Shaq was on the cover with the Heat. 06 is when they kind of took the throne as like the main sim basketball game, and they never relinquished. Like they still had it till this day. You play Live. Yeah. I mean, you want to play 2K. So I want to see them. It's a shame that if they drop the Live. But that would be good to have competition, which is what I want in football, right? But unfortunately, we can't have that in football. We just have
because they have the license. Yeah. I mean, I kind of want to see competition again because as good as the 2K series is, it could be better. And the only way that it gets better is if you have something to beat, right? You're going to go neck and neck, and you're going to have the war, and it's going to go back and forth. All right, we had that with the football for a little bit, right? 2K, the 2K series in football was fantastic, right? The Sega games were great, and the 2K5, possibly one of the best football games of all time. And they sold it for $20 because it was their swan song, and they're like, "Look, we're getting out," because EA ended up buying the rights to make sim football, and it's just been Madden here on out. and they've been okay, but not great because there's no competition. Nothing can go up against it. All right, you're gonna make a football game. It's gonna be a sim game, right? Or it's gonna be an arcade game or some sort of weird rules in it, or arena football or whatever.
I want to tell you something to look out for because 2K isn't infallible. Okay, right? Like they're not like they don't do anything wrong because their wrestling games have been stale for a long time.
Oh yeah, I know. After they bought them from THQ, yeah.
So keep a lookout in 2022, maybe the fall of 2022 for AEW, because AEW may be coming with a sim game that's better than 2K. And by the way, we haven't had a 2K wrestling game in a while.
That's right.
They skipped last year for more of an arcadey feel. So
Battlegrounds, and it was not good.
Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. First of all, again, give me all the fucking characters at once.
Well, that's corporate greed right there, right? That was the microtransactions. They locked most of the characters. Either you had to grind to get them out, or you could pay for them and unlock them, and it was terrible. Not to mention the game was mediocre to begin with. You get 6 wrestlers to start, and you got to grind or pay for the rest of them.
What is this, 1995? What do you mean you get 6 wrestlers? I should get 60 wrestlers.
That's exactly right.
That's exactly right. Has like a big, it's a huge roster. It's ridiculous.
Right. Considering the last game had like at least 60 wrestlers that were available off the bat, right?
I should be able to play as AJ Styles right away. I should have to lock him in.
I agree.
So, Dave, we're old. Well, just you. You're old. I'm young. I'm still young. I just turned 25. I just turned 25.
Are
Dave,
old.
I just turned 25. Okay. You just turned 50. I turned 25. I'm half your age.
Well, see, that's why you have to listen to me, because I'm wise beyond my years. I've been on this earth double the amount of time that you have. You need to understand that copy of Super Mario Brothers 3 back there is the best game of all time, Dan. All right.
I'm just glad
you need to recognize. You need to recognize.
I'm just glad you admitted I'm half your age, because I'm 20. I just turned 25.
You just have to listen to me. I've got wisdom beyond my years.
You're old, and you don't want to. You're older millennial. You don't listen to us younger. I don't even know what's after millennials. I don't even know what I am.
You're definitely not that. You're not a Zennial. That's what they're called. They're called Zennials.
I'm a Zennial. Okay, I'm a Zennial.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't mind the gray in the beard. I mean, it's just it happens.
It's just there for show. Yeah. He grays his own beard, folks.
It's just for men, for gray.
Yeah. Why would you do that? Just for gray? Yeah.
Just for gray. I mean, it shows wisdom. That's what it is. So we're collectors. I'm about 10 games under 4,500 games. So I'm right there. My goal was always to hit 5,000. Anything over 5,000 is butter. Is sweet.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think you're gonna stop, but sure.
It looks like and this is what the whole thing as collectors. This is what we dread, is being delisted, right? And if you're Microsoft, if you're Xbox, if you're an Xbox fan, if you're Dave, you need to own a copy of Forza Motorsport 7, because it's getting delisted, just like DuckTales got delisted, which is now back on, by the way. And it drove the price up of all the physical copies of DuckTales.
What does delisted mean? It's not going to be available digitally anymore?
Correct.
Does it also mean they're going to stop producing the physical copies?
Well, because the new Forza game is in the works, right? Yes, I would assume so.
That's weird, because motorsport is like track racing, right? I mean, granted, you can also race in trucks and fancy cars and whatever else, but it's a different game than Horizon. Horizon's like off-road, jumping over cliffs and all that. Like, there's less on-road and more off-road. I feel like both those things could exist together, right? But they're taking it down. It's weird. I don't know, because that's a Microsoft game, right? It's made by Turn 10 Studios, right? It's owned by Microsoft. The property is owned by Microsoft.
Well, Forza Motorsport 7 is now reaching its end-of-life status as of September 25th, 2021. It will be delisted and you won't be able to purchase it digitally. However, I'm sure it would be around on Games Pass, but you won't be able to actually own it. So, I actually do own, Forza Motorsport 7. I didn't know I'll be honest, I didn't even know I didn't even know I did own it.
So, probably never played it.
It's definitely probably still sealed. So, not gonna lie. So, you should own this, as you're a big Xbox fan, and I know you hate the games that are delisted because you are a collector. So
I'm pretty sure I have a copy of 7 as well. Yeah, I mean, right now digitally, if you wanted it, it's $10 up until September 15th. $15 for the deluxe version, and $20 for the Ultimate Edition. So, this I think this discount is going on up until the game gets delisted. So you can buy it and you can play it if that's what you want to do, or you can still get the physical pre-owned for fairly cheap, which is good.
So Dave, I like to end with sort of like a fun, kind of quirky story, right? It's the last story on the list, and it looks like I love. First of all, Phil Spencer is my favorite video game personality. Like he's my Shuei Yoshida used to be my favorite.
He was great.
He sort of stepped back, and he's part of Sony Indies, so he's not at the forefront anymore. And Phil Spencer is now my favorite face of the franchise guy.
Okay.
Player, right? Like he's like Tom Brady. And Xbox marketing team is one of the best in the business right now, right? And they went from Xbox, the Xbox fridge, life-size fridge. They went to the Xbox actual selling an Xbox fridge that's like a mini fridge, to now Xbox donuts with Krispy Kreme. That's unfortunately only in the UK right now. And it looks like a jelly donut with white frosting and a green X with the Xbox symbol in the middle. I don't know if it's actually jelly. It's in the UK, so it's probably like some custard.
Could be a custard cream thing,
It could be like a custard cream or even a green custard. I think this is awesome. This is what I want. I want a mini fridge shipped to me with a dozen Xbox donuts inside the fridge.
That would be amazing. Awesome. We have Krispy Kreme here, right? I believe it is an American company. I don't see any reason why they couldn't bring this over here, right? And I would gladly eat an Xbox branded donut.
I know you would. You would cheat on your diet for Xbox.
That's exactly right.
PlayStation, but you would do it for Xbox.
Well, I mean, if you do live in the UK or you plan on visiting anytime between now and August 22nd, it'll be a limited time event, so you can get the Nexus level donut. That's what they're branding it, which I think is kind of funny. This is like kind of fantastic. Sony's got to start doing their own branded routers.
Okay, so I just want a router with like a PlayStation Energy drink, and then I get I get all the sugar rush I can get.
Xbox and awesome. Xbox and Monster.
So what does Nintendo need to do? What does Nintendo? I mean, Nintendo. We had those Switch cookies from that Switch event.
Oh, right?
I still have one of them. It's stale.
Same.
It's
Same.
Stale.
Hey, it's sealed up. It may be all right.
It's sealed and got mold on it. Right?
It may be all right. Oh well, the mold is another thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want like what does the Switch look like? Come on, the Xbox, the Xbox Series X, which is right here next to me, looks like a fridge. The PlayStation 5 looks like a router. What does the Switch look like?
It looks like a red Twinkie. Well, you tell me what it looks like, Dan. I think I got him, folks. That's it.
I had no idea you were going to say Twinkie. I'm turning red because I didn't.
I mean, what else does it look like? A vanilla wafer?
Well, first of all, it's not red. It's not red.
They have red versions. The Mario one's red. They have red Joy-Cons.
It's not red, though, but it's not red. Okay.
Well, they have red versions, though. They have red versions.
But
that's what I'm saying.
They do, it's not red. Okay.
They have red versions of it, you know?
All right. What would you... Okay.
You tell me. You tell me what it looks like.
Okay. We got the fridge and a router. What would you want the Switch? What would you want the Switch to resemble?
Red Twinkies. I want a red Twinkie, Dad. Come on now. All you need is some, like, red number 5 or whatever it is. Food colored a little bit. have the little cream filling in the middle, have Mario on the packaging.
First of all, the
Sold.
Switch is not even red.
The Mario version's red.
Oh my god, the
Mario version's red.
Okay, it's not a Twinkie. Okay, all right. I don't know what the Switch looks like. Next week I'll have.
See, there you go. You put me on the spot. That's what you get. You get red Twinkies.
It's not okay. Happy birthday, Dave. Happy birthday. It's a red Twinkie.
There we go. Oh, I would down a red Twinkie with Mario on the side.
You would cheat on your diet. Okay.
Hell yeah, I would.
Dave, you have any plans for this weekend?
Oh, for this weekend? How about this week, Dan? I took off the whole damn week. I am maxing, relaxing, chilling outside by the pool. All right, I'm pulling a Will Smith. I am playing video games and taking it easy with my feet up. That is what I got going on.
It's gonna be a beach weekend for me.
The
only thing that's gonna be hard to decide is which console to take with me. Do I take the Switch with me and play Skyward Sword, or do I take an old school console and play something else?
Your choices are Nintendo, and maybe a PS Vita. That's about it. That's about all you got, because Microsoft doesn't make handhelds.
Vita or PSP.
I mean, you could take it way back and go with a PSP. Sure.
No, not PSP. I have over 100 PSP and over 100 Vita games. So yes,
Here's what you got to do. You got to get one of those old Tiger Electronic baseball games, fill it up with 2 AA's, and then just go to town.
I would get Street Fighter first.
Oh my God! Oh well, I mean, the baseball one was at least good. Street Fighter was terrible.
Well, they all were terrible.
No, the baseball one was good, man. Baseball one was good.
Oh, the baseball was terrible. I had the baseball one. It was
the baseball one was awesome, man.
No, it was terrible.
Well, anyway, that is episode 282 in the books, folks. And we want to thank you guys for listening to this show, this very special show, this birthday show. All right, for liking, commenting, doing all the good stuff that you guys do. If you want to interact with us, and we know that you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. Also, we are part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. You can check out all the fine podcasts featured on there at gamingpodcastalliance.com if you're looking for more gaming goodness. So, please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.